When I fought with Floyd, I was 23.
23. How much have you grown from 23 now?
No, so much. I always
7 years, right?
yeah, 7 years. I always think I need to fight first with Coro, Lara, and all of that guys, and then Floyd. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is. I'm okay.
So you think at 23, you think it was kind of premature, right?
I need more experience, more mature. Yeah.
I think that helps them more than anything. Fights like that helps you more than hinder you. Let me say, well, I can go 12 rounds with the best fighter in the world, and then it makes you better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't take that fight like I lose. I take that fight like I'm learn from that fight.
If
Those are the words of Canelo Alverez, as he stated that when he fought Floyd Mayweather, he was too young. Yes, he was 23 years of age. He was undefeated at the time. He was 42-0 with one draw, okay? And he was beating everybody. He was the next superstar, okay? He went up against the best fighter in the world, Floyd Money Mayweather. And he, to me, he was outclassed. Okay, he was beaten. Okay, and he felt that he was too young. He felt he should have fought Cotto and Lara. Okay, and I want to word this right because I don't want this to come off like a hate video towards Canelo. At the time, he was offered the Canelo fight, the Floyd fight. Yes, he was 23. Yes, he was young. But let's be realistic. If he wouldn't have got that fight or took that fight at that time, would he ever would have got a fight with Floyd Money Mayweather? Which I think he received, what, $5 million, I believe, to fight Floyd, the cash cow. So I feel that Canelo got outclassed. I felt he was beaten by the best. I do agree with him. He did learn a lot. But let me counterpunch. Was he too old? Or should I say too young? Was Canelo too young to be fighting Floyd at the time? And the absolute answer is hell to the no. If you have 43 fights under your belt, that's a lot of fights, okay? 43 fights is not a fight or not a person that is a novice, a prospect. He's a champion at that time, okay? He was ascending at his best. Now, did he get better? He appeared to get better because he's always been a good fighter. Canelo has been a good fighter, a good intelligent fighter. He did what he's supposed to do in these fights against Mosley and Cintron and Cotto, and I mean both Cottos. But before that Cotto, he fought Jose Cotto, Miguel's brother. Okay, yes, he beat these guys. He took these guys out. He had a tough fight right before Trout. Okay, so I mean, this guy with those many fights, you cannot tell me that he was too young. Okay, yes, did he learn? Of course he learned, but no, don't give me that. Okay, because if we're talking about age, we're talking about, okay, well, he's 23. We have to remember how old Floyd was when he fought him. Floyd was 36 years old. Okay, he could, like he said, I could have had a Canelo, right? Because I mean, he had the age on him. Canelo had the age on his side as anything. So he can't say what it is. Now, did he learn from fighters that can move? Maybe, maybe not, because he hasn't fought a guy like Floyd. He hasn't fought a guy like Lara. Okay, I did a recent video about this already. But what I won't do is sit here and act like, oh, well, he was too young. No, not with 43 fucking fights. I'm sorry. That will not happen. I'm not going to stand for it. Canelo knew what he was doing. He knew how to fight. Okay, he had the same trainer, so it ain't like it's anything that he learned other than, hey, I got in there with a guy that was better than me or some guys that are better boxers than me, which Floyd was and Lara was. They were better boxers, bar none. They were pure boxers. Floyd just knew how to do more than Lara, but Lara still beat Canelo in my eyes. That fight will always be controversial, but you guys can't tell me that he's been in there with somebody else like those guys. Cotto fights nothing like Lara. He fights nothing like Mayweather. They have nothing in common. Who else? Danny Jacobs, wrong. Gennady Golovkin, wrong. Callum Smith, wrong. Okay? Who else? Kovalev, hell no, wrong. Okay, so he hasn't been in there with a guy that boxes and moves. Okay, you can call it clever matchmaking. You can call it just, hey, he hasn't came across that particular guy. I don't see guys like that up there. And a guy that's experienced as Canelo Alverez is and always was for a long time, okay? He was 7 years a pro up until that time. He was 43 fights in, 42 wins with no losses to that time. It was labeled the one, if you guys can remember, the one. Why? Because someone's one gotta come, right? So don't tell me that the guy was too young. No. Floyd would have beat him anyway. It is what it is. Floyd would have beat him. He would have took him to school. He would have outboxed him. Because if he would have had to wait, that meant Floyd had to be older. And that would have okay, here's the question. What age would Canelo feel comfortable, or would the public or Canelo fans feel comfortable with him fighting Floyd Mayweather? 27, 28, 29, okay? Well, we have to add that to Floyd's age. So that meant Floyd would have been down there 40 fighting someone like Canelo at that time. Okay? So him beating that type of dude or fighting that dude, he fought Floyd at the right time. Floyd was 36 years old. Floyd really wasn't in his prime. Floyd's just that great. He's just that good. Okay, but despite what you think about Floyd Mayweather, he is a great boxer. Okay, and one hell of a fighter. If it really wasn't for his gloves and the brittle hands that he possesses, he would have probably been more dangerous. But it's probably a good thing because it made him more defensive minded. So it made him fight smarter instead of harder by using those fists. But no, he took Canelo to school with reflexes at the age of 36. You can't tell me that Canelo has got any faster. Okay, because this is what it comes down to. More experienced, okay, well, I mean, he would probably try to work the body more like Cotto did, but he didn't try to do that. He tried to outbox a guy that was better than him. Wrong game plan, not wrong age. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Canelo Alverez saying that I was too young when I fought Floyd Mayweather. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.